I think we are ready to begin a room tour. All right. I can't see a damn thing. What the? All right. Shall we begin? Hello, folks. Danoby2 here. Thank you for joining me once again on a room tour. God, it's been a couple years since I've done a room tour, and I just want to play guerrilla style because I have a lot. There's been a lot of changes in my collection, and so that I don't create multiple B-rolls and then go back and do some ADR sessions with it. I want to express myself as I'm looking at the actual figures or items, and kind of share my opinions on it and so forth. So I try to keep my collection as a rotating museum, as a seasonal museum, where I bring in certain pieces and then certain pieces will come and they go. And then my favorites go the actual long run. So let's kind of start out in the West Wing here. So the West Wing here, using the module cases here, you see Jabba. That's my Star Wars section here. You kind of see where I've kind of taken some creative liberties. Yes, I understand that Gethsemane does not belong in the Star Wars universe, but I figured since she's so exotic, I thought, well, maybe Jabba might find some attraction to her. In this module case selection, I have Force Awakens R2. That TC-14 is a Medicom figure. I don't think I reviewed it. I have nothing against Medicom. The only situation with Medicom is that their size, when it comes to their figures, they not necessarily match in size compared to Tamashii Nations or even Hot Toys in general. But I still wanted to have a TC-14 in this section. I got Boba Fett over here. That is the Sideshow Carbonite, and that is the Hot Toys Boba Fett. I want to say he's being re-released again. This is a Sideshow Jabba. This particular, this is the second version of Jabba, and I gotta say, it's by far my favorite. If there's one thing that Sideshow tends to do very well, is that they tend to do statues very, very well. Jedi Luke. Oh, I don't know why he's there. Right? Oh, you know what? At one point, I did have Luke staring at Gethsemane. Gethsemane, the Physon goddess there of death. Chewbacca, I have, that is a Sideshow Imperial droid. That is a Physon Leia there. And this is one of my crowning achievements here, is a C-3PO. That is the Tamashii Nations version. Below this module case, I have Marvel. This is what started as my Marvel section, and it's, well, for example, Joker definitely does not belong there. But what started as just a New York backdrop, you can kind of see the poster in the background there with New York City. It's kind of gotten a little bit crowded. This particular diorama was really only meant for 1/6 scale figures, but I was starting to run out of space, and so I've added some SH Figuarts figures with a couple of Marvel Legends and some 1/12 scale TB League customs there. I don't know. Did you guys ever see my Wolverine custom? It's kind of it's a mix. It's a mishmash of TB League, the 1/12 body, with the Marvel Legends suit, and it came out really nice. I gotta say that really came out nice. That is the Wasp. That's my Spider-Man based off of the PS4 game. But I mean, overall, this was really just meant for just a Marvel Spider-Man, and I do have to go back and I do have to reorganize. And you can kind of see right there with the Spider Light box. Man, I do love that. I really do love the Hot Toys light boxes. If they weren't so expensive, and I wish, honestly, I kind of wish that Hot Toys would release them over to Sideshow Collectibles, so that us US customers can get a chance at purchasing them because they're really nice. Man, I mean, if you can, now granted, mine's kind of buried in the figures, but it's really nice. It's a really nice setup, and it does add light to the setup. If you're wondering, I did take off all the acrylic cases because it does create a reflection background. You can kind of see there. So this is going to be a long video. Get yourself comfortable. I'm going to try to touch everything as possible without it having to go over an hour. But I've been meaning to do a collections tour for a while, and now more than ever, I think today would be a good day. Below, it is my Back to the Future Shrine. If you guys have seen this or not, if you follow me, you know that I have I'd always meant to have Doc Brown's. You know what it was? I did a photo shoot where I had Trump steal one of my DeLoreans. Clearly, Trump stole one of DeLoreans, went back in time, and gave himself the almanac. And I never put Doc Brown back. That was probably a few months ago, during the whole pandemic. There's my Railways DeLorean. Marty's in the background. And that is a old Starlog that I think I picked off of eBay for a couple bucks. There's my DeLorean. Can you see that? My DeLorean Time Machine Hot Wheels ID. This DeLorean is, that one right there is a DC, not that DC Direct, Diamond Select. Diamond Select DeLorean. And what else we have here? And these are Sunstar DeLoreans. Little custom props there, kind of see. Why is that there? I want to say that's the play school. I ran out of space here. I didn't have a spot to put my play school DeLorean. That's really where it should be. My collection constantly keeps changing. Ugh. Eagle Moss, Star Trek ships, and you can kind of see it's kind of a mishmash. And these are my synthetic humans. Hot Toys Beauty and the Beast. A kit bash. A couple of kit bashes back there. A couple of kit bashes. And then the Smart Dolls. A couple of the Smart Doll collections I have. That's where they're at. Right there. More of the 1/12 scale. Good here. More of the 1/12 scale. Synthetic humans. More of a mishmash. Kind of there. The NECA diorama is kept on top. I've kind of kept it to just Spider-Man. Sorry for the shaky cam, but kind of see it's I had a couple changes. I'm gonna put it up there. Here we go. So as we pull away, that's the west side of the room, and this is one of the old IKEA cabinets. Right there, it's I don't really want to. It's just more of leftovers, certain pieces that I just haven't been able to really properly manage, to be honest with you. One of the things I like about my module cases is that I'm able to use the top for storage. You can kind of see it's just the storage facility there. A little bit of Star Trek. You'll always I gotta find a spot for that. That's the Black Series. That is the Black Series Snow Speeder, 6-inch. Match there. So I have 3D tops, and then this one here is really meant for the kids because Legos, Overwatch figures that I collected. I don't think they've released any more of the Overwatch figures. More Lego sets, a little mismatch. And these are the panels. You can kind of see. Deadpool head is not going to stay in there. I think it just looks cool. These are the acrylic panels for the module cases. I took them off. So that I can kind of do this room tour and let the actual cases breathe. What do we have over here? We have, so this is the north facing side of the room. Most of you folks have seen this during my actual figure reviews. Kind of see it right there. And at one point, I did have a plan, sort of like a blueprint, exactly what I wanted up here. The problem that I always run into is that I tend to run out of space. So I've set my priorities. I want to collect certain pieces that I have an emotional connection to. Not so much that I want to get every Hot Toys made. That to me, that doesn't make any sense. That's ridiculous. Make any sense and just no, and I'd end up burying myself. And I have a whole room. I have a giant room studio devoted to my collection and to my reviews, and it just wouldn't reflect my opinion if I collected every Hot Toys out there and then just bury myself and just tell you that I find joy in it, because I don't. I'm very selective as to what I like. Been collecting Iron Man Hot Toys for such a long time. You can kind of see that I did do some modifications to this module case right here. Added these little LED strips there, add a little bit more light. God, they're like 15 bucks on eBay, very cheap. Hulkbuster. One of the reasons I decided to go into module case was because of the Hulkbuster. I follow a lot of people on Instagram, and I do know that when it came to the Hulkbuster, this is not a piece you would cram into a DTOF. It's ridiculous. Most people have it exposed, have it on a shelf, a table, and my biggest challenge here living in Las Vegas is the amount of dust that I get. It's ridiculous, and I have come up with a couple solutions to tackle the dust. We haven't had rain here in Las Vegas in about 4 months. So last month, the static buildup was ridiculous. I couldn't walk on my carpet without getting electrocuted. So I did research, and I learned that if you run a ionized air filter, you can change the polarity of the room by this little machine here. You guys have seen this right here. And this little thing here is phenomenal. It releases some sort of ions or something to the air, and it changes the polarity of the room so that when I walk on the carpet here, I'm not going to get electrocuted, so that I can kind of rub my feet here. And typically when I would touch anything metal, I'd get shocked, but it works. As long as I have that little ion filter in there running, it's changed the polarity. The other thing too that I was really suffering with the acrylic panels with the module cases was that static would cling onto it, and I discovered Novus. This is a plastic solution here. This thing here is phenomenal. Let me tell you something. It has a anti-static dust repellent. For plastic, this thing is phenomenal. I swear by it. I started using this last month when I brought in the ion air filter, and it works. It keeps the dust off of the acrylic panels, and I don't end up losing it. I don't end up losing my shit. So Hulkbuster here, my little Hulkbuster Shrine, Bruce Banner, working on good old Hulkbuster, and added a little turntable on here because I thought it'd be kind of cool to have just the parts being surrounded and Bruce just customizing. Just thought that was neat. And I have, is that Wanda? That is, if you're wondering, that is a special guest star. That is Wanda Feisen from my Wanda Feisen video. She is still, she's still the same way. I haven't really done anything to her other than just, at one point I was always my plan was to end up reusing the original body that came with Hot Toys, but I like the Feisen Wanda. It works for me, it works for my collection. Next is my Captain America Shrine, and this is one of this is where I discovered that you can kind of see the box back there where it says, can you see that? Black Panther, where I can actually repurpose some of the Hot Toy boxes to prop up the actual figure so that it can create more of like a stadium display effect. I like that. This is not Hot Toys. That is the Avengers Captain America from the game. Yeah, very cool. Very phenomenal game. I got to get back into that. I think I'm halfway in the game, and I've just been busy. I've just been busy with a lot of things. Great game. all my caps, Bucky. This was one of my biggest regrets. I was able to get a hold of an affordable Bucky. This is from Bucky from Civil War with his arm. Endgame, Bucky Barnes. Hulk back there from Age of Ultron. And if you look carefully back there, you'll see that I have my little collection of little magnets, little hot toy magnets. And another light box back there which helps illuminate. And do I have... Yeah, there is light. I added, there's a strip. You can kind of see it right here. Strip of light there adds a little bit more light. So this is probably, I wouldn't say it's a big mistake when it came to lighting. I thought the spotlights would work better. You can kind of see it right there. But ultimately I discovered that, you know what, the fluorescent tubing, the LED tubing, say like over here, it just works better. It helps illuminate the collection so much better. But for a simple mod, these little LED strips, they were 15 bucks on Amazon, so it wasn't a deal breaker. This is my light box, my dark setup. You guys know how that was. Hold on a second here. Yeah, see what we have here. I can turn them on. You can kind of see the, yeah. Can't really see the effect now, but at nighttime it's pretty cool. And it solves the creates the magical illusion where my neon tech suits in the back glow. It's really nice. It doesn't really capture very well on video, but in person it is nice. That is my Iron Studios Thanos with Hot Toys Thanos. That is the Infinity War suit, and my Black Widow, if you guys are wondering. I ended up just using a aftermarket third-party head for Black Widow, and kept the suit on because I thought it came out really nice. There's Wolverine, keeping her warm, and a Deadpool playing Centipede. I have Thor back there because he glows really nice under the black lights. Oh, did I show you? I got a couple of Tron figures back there, which I have them there because they glow really nice. What do we have here? A makeshift Tony workshop right here. Kind of see the Age of Ultron suit. Let's see Tony's workshop, and then the light box back there. The Marvel light box. I picked that up in Japan last year when I was visiting. Kind of see there, and another souvenir from the Avengers game. Check that out. That's kind of cool. And let's reset. Let's reset over here. Most of you may or may not know this already, but I do love NASA. I love anything with space. My NASA Shrine. Just a few days ago, I ended up watching the Netflix series Challenger. It broke my heart. It was done very, very well. I mean, it really talked about the imperfections with the Challenger space shuttle. They did such a good job on that series. So it's on Netflix if you want to catch it. That is the Endeavour space shuttle, and then my DID Corp astronauts right there. Love these guys, they look great. In the back is the Lego space station. You can kind of see it back there. Check that out. And the Lego space. And there's a little shuttle there. That is the Endeavour shuttle. This was fun. This Lego space station build was really cool. And the fact that it looks very realistic, not so much of a Lego piece, I thought it just looked really cool. And yes, before I get comments, I understand that the space stations I'm using it as a backdrop for the Apollo astronauts. It's technically not in the same timeline, but it looks good. It looks good. The Jazz Inc. Justice Mobile. Finally got the wheel, did my own little modifications on it. This was the axle and the wheel that was broken. I got instructions from Yoast on replacing it. There is the wheel back there. I kind of left it there because I thought it kind of looked cool. Kind of just having parts laying around where it would look like Bruce Wayne would be working on his Batmobile. I like it. It's a grandiose piece. So have it facing the opposite direction when I originally got it, and it's nice. That's my tech suit Batman there. So overall, it was an easy swap. I'm happy with the Batmobile, easy fix, and a couple of the guns here. I should probably get that organized. Love it. Next is my Ghostbusters Shrine. Did a little bit of maintenance last week. I had to do some dusting on here. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Now that I'm able to control the amount of static buildup, because that's the thing. Every time you opened up the panels, you're not creating a seal. And I understand that I do have all the panels off, but I also have my ion filter running on high right now with the central cooling running right now to kind of help control the dust. Like I said, we haven't had rain here in Vegas in about 4 months, and it's just a couple of things that it's part of living out in the desert. These are the Walmart Kenner reissues. Those aren't the original ones, and I thought it'd be kind of neat to have them back there. There's a Hot Wheels Ghostbusters back there. Essentially Ghostbusters. Everything here is Ghostbusters. That is the James Bond sub car. That does not belong in there, but I needed a spot for it. These are the Blitzway Ghostbusters, the Blitzway Ecto 1, Egon, and on the top shelf here, it is the Mezco 1 Ghostbusters with the Hasbro Plasma Series Ghostbusters. Try to create a little couple scenes, and if you can look carefully back there, you can see that I do have the Playmates Delorean back there with a Hellboy from from 1000 Toys. I don't know if you can see that or not. Try to zoom in on that, but there you go. That is 1000 Toys Hellboy. All right, the Playmates mobile back there. That is a Toys Era Joker. Right there, Hot Toys, Jack Sparrow. There's my John Wick, and then Porter Indiana. I've struggled with Dr. Jones back there. I don't, because he's so unique because of his diorama, the base, the idol. I've struggled on where to pose him, where to display him. He just doesn't. It's a challenge because he doesn't seem to fit with anything else. And I thought, well, you know, Ghostbusters is 1980s, and so that's how I sold it to myself. And I feel he deserves more justice, more not justice, but respect in my collection. And I just haven't solved that issue yet. I haven't been able to figure that out. Maybe I can bring him down over to my Ghostbusters over here. That is my Ghostbusters little setup there, 1980s. Johnny 5 back there. That is a third aftermarket Johnny 5. The little Sentry Robocop drone from the Robocop movie looks cool. The Hot Toys, a second issue of the Ed 209. My base is still there. Look, it's still covered in that Honda grease. It prevents it from cracking. Die-cast Robocop. We have the HasLab Jabba sail barge. Looks phenomenal inside a module case with my little skiff dioramas right there. And this bottom shelf here, I've kind of dedicated it to Star Wars, and well, Star Wars light box in the background. That is the 1/10 scale Vader. He's a challenge. I don't know he doesn't fit there. I'm looking at him now in the video, and it doesn't seem to work, so I'm going to end up moving him. Empire Strikes Back Vader, Dooku, Sith Trooper in the back with the Royal Guard, Emperor Palpatine. Palpatine, love my Palpatine. Love him so much. My little boy here, Wicket, with Leia. That is a Hasbro speeder bike, in case you're wondering. Picked it up really cheap, very, very cheap, especially now that we're getting a Hot Toy speeder bike from the Mandalorian. That'll be really cool. So I thought it kind of would work. Obi-Wan in the background, you can kind of see him back there. He's holding baby Luke, and that is a Sideshow Imperial droid. My Thyssen Ray back there from the original video. Never changed her. There she is right there with her BB-8 unit. And my Enchanted Forest. I'd always been, I'm not happy with my little Enchanted Forest here. I don't like that they're restricted to one module case. My original plan was to get the Fais and Femme Fatales here. They're whole giant 120 inches, I want to say. A larger case. I wanted to get my Fais and gals here into a module case of this size here, but it's challenging. It's challenging when you're trying to manage a collection, and one of the things that I try to struggle is I don't want my collection to feel crammed. I don't like that. I'm trying to give every character that I collect or buy, I'm trying to give them their own space, their own unique environment. So there's quite a bit here. I'm gonna solve this. They need more space, so I'll figure something out. All right, facing east. This is my newest module cases right over here, and very, very happy. There's been some redesigns with this. First of all, I went with the I didn't do with the spotlights, and went with the LED light strips. Looks very nice. I reinforced the top so that I can use the actual top of the boxes. Get rid of the shipper boxes, just keep them as the artwork just to minimize space and weight. I recommend that. I do that. I don't keep the brown shippers anymore. You can kind of see it there. So let's start with this. So this was something that had been bugging me for a while. Most of you know that I have a 3-story Hall of Armor right there. It was up to 4 stories. This was cool at the time. I've had this set up here for over 5 years, and it's a pain in the butt. Last couple years, I really grew tiresome of the whole Hall of Armor setup because it's a pain in the butt when it comes to maintenance, meaning dust, right? Dust and dirt. It's exposed to the environment, and every few months I got to go in with a can of air or a Swiffer duster, and you could only get so much dust out. Plus, I was never happy with the way the power system was distributed with these Hot Toys Hall of Armors. The fact that, I'll give you an example here, where the center column here had its own independent power source, so that you could not have this run off of AC, but yet you can have the actual units run off of AC. I was never satisfied. Most people just accepted it, right? And I never liked that, right? And I did end up having my own custom Hall of Armor made a year prior these units were released, which is what you see here. And this was always my intention. My intention, I was just dragging my feet, was that I'd have the original Hall of Armor here at the back, and Tony would be working on a project, or he'd be working on his newest, latest suit. So as I have the top row of this module case devoted strictly to Iron Man. And you can kind of see that I wasn't able to cram all of the suits because eventually I'm going to sell these units. I'm over these Hot Toy units. I'm done. I know they reissued them. And that's the other thing too, the fact that Hot Toys reissued the Hall of Armors and they made no technical improvements. They just recasted the same mold again, which I thought was stupid. I thought there was room for improvement. So the idea is I'm going to sell these units off and just add some more module cases on here and finish off the suits. That's the kids playing there. You can see like the Lego sets. I let them play. 2 kids here, little girl. She loves playing with Legos. And so anyway, let's get back over here. My War Machine setup. That's the other thing too. I always felt that the War Machine units needed their own little setup here. That is just a Kit Bash Black Widow. I didn't know where to put her, so I thought she would just hang out with the with the War Machines. That Hulk bobblehead is from the Avengers game, in case you're wondering. Yeah, I like that. The Mark 45 Rocket Raccoon, Black Widow, and Tony just looking over the arm, the Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, something else too that because with these actual cases, that I was able to make some electrical improvements, and I was able to plug in everything with a remote, right? So that I can control the lights. I can turn them off. I can turn them on now. You know, this is one of the things too that I learned when I built these. I realized, like, you know, I really, because they're heavy and it's not permanent fixtures, but it's a pain in the butt. One of the things that I learned after I built everything is, like, you know, I really should have had everything over here on a remote. Everything should have been on a remote. That way, if I ever go on a trip or I just want to save electricity or whatnot, I can turn everything with a remote control. And that was one of the things I was able to learn with this actual module case, is that I was able to put everything on a remote. And this remote system here is, I think it's extremely affordable. I think it's, what, 20, 30 bucks on Amazon. And it works. It works beautifully. I can turn everything on. Plus, one of the things too is that my Hall of Armor is on remote control, so I can just turn that on now. Which one is it? There you go. I can just turn on my my Hall of Armor by remote, so that I can have it. I can have it illuminated, and when I'm bored, I don't want the bright light shining into the room. I can turn it off. Right, on, off, like that flickering effect. Something else too. I'm going to kind of skip here, is the independent powers, because I added outlets, right, to my module cases. And you can kind of see here, I know I skipped a session, but you can kind of see my little Star Wars section down here, where I'm using the wireless LEDs, where I have them all plugged in, and you can kind of see, show you right here. So that is K2SO, and I've added a couple of the wireless LED lights, so that I can now turn him on. Which one is it? It's one of these. There you go. Hold on. There you go. So I can turn off, like, the Jawas and the custom kit bashes C3POs. I can just turn them on. I added a couple little LEDs to my Mando back there too, so you can kind of see it and turn it on and off. Got Leia's back there. I got my Solo. Was not a big fan of the movie, but I am a big fan of this figure. I love the whole costume setup. I love his fur. I love the glasses. I like everything about it. That is the Mandalorian Remnant Stormtrooper. Bespin Leia back there. Hoth Leia back there. And then, you know what's really, really cool with the module cases is that you can take just regular toys. You can take that is the Smuggler's Run Falcon, and that is the Star Wars Vintage Collection Hasbro Slave 1. And something about that, you know, when you display your collection properly and you create a theme, it just looks nice. It looks really, really epic. This section here is not dedicated to Anakin or that Endo arm. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet. I'll go back here. And I have an assortment of characters right here that don't necessarily belong with each other, but that tends to happen when you collect so many, you know, pieces. You got Picard there. I got my Elsa. I got the Power Girl. I got Woody, Black Panther. I kept him on a pedestal back there in his throne. Ant-Man. And I was very happy with my Justice League setup on the other side, because I originally had my Justice League setup where the Batmobile was. I'm like, you know, the Batmobile would be really cool, you know, as the background image when I'm reviewing vehicles. So I kept the Batmobile over there, and then I just moved the DC section over here, and again, using a blanket. I think it's 14 bucks on Amazon. These are boxes, display hot toy boxes where I can use them and I can create that stadium effect. So Superman. I don't think I've had anything new here. That's DC Direct Cyborg, the custom suit. See, that's one of the cool things too, is that with this Superman here, this is the Justice League Superman, you get two heads, and the fact that you can create another figure out of him is pretty neat. Harley in the background, Joker, Bane. I want to say, yeah, that's a Fison Bane there. That's a TV League Fison Bane. And I always wanted, I had this on the other side, and I brought it over on this side, the original Avengers team. This was, to me, I think was really important because the certain figures in this collection is where I started to, are a part of my original batch. I started collecting Hot Toys back in 2013, and this Cap was one of the originals. This Mark 7 was, that Black Widow was. Actually, everything here except Hawkeye and Nick Fury, they came a few years later. And Loki was a year afterwards, but the original, like that Hulk, was one of my original buys. Thor, Black Widow, the Mark 7, and so forth. That's a Kit Bash Tony. You guys have seen the video. That's brand new. When they released Hawkeye again, when they released him for Age of Ultron, the price went down on this one, so I was able to pick him up because I remember at one point in time, this Hawkeye was going for a lot of money. I want to say about $700. So the fact I was able to get him at a decent price after Age of Ultron was really nice. I think that is that it? I covered everything. Let me see here. So that is it. I think I've covered everything. Talked about the Hall of Armor. Talked about a couple of the changes. I'm going to get rid of these, the Hot Toy Hall of Armors. And overall, I mean, this is it. This is the, this is where the collection stands right now. I don't think I've missed anything. No, I don't think I have. So that is it. I know it's more of a quick version here, but I wanted to kind of keep it simple. I wanted to just talk about it, and I think that's it. Yeah. See ya.